can you believe it? Pez candies are almost 100 years old. And more shocking than that, I've never done a video on Pez. So let's take a look at some of those classic Pez dispensers. I'm kind of shocked, guys. I've never done a video on Pez. Anyone growing up, I was going to say Generation X, 70s, 80s, but anyone growing up, mostly from the 50s, know about Pez. Even kids today, kids in the 90s, in the 2000s, the 2010s. Everybody grew up on Pez. Like I said in the intro, this started almost 100 years ago. I believe it was around 1927 when the first Pez came out. Then it was just a little package, and it was made to stop smoking cigarettes, believe it or not. Yeah, it was like a little mint candy you put in your mouth to stop you from smoking cigarettes. And it wasn't in a little dispenser. But then they did do a dispenser probably a couple years later. And actually into the 30s and 40s started making Popeye and all these other ones into the 50s. And we're going to start really looking at the 60s. I got some old ones to look at. But we're going to look at some from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And we're going to go into the 90s. I'm going to stop about right there because that's mostly what y'all guys come here for. You know, 90s and back. But also by the 2000s came, they were just slapping license on everything. Just wasn't as fun to me. But we did get some Pez's that we really wanted in the 2000s that we didn't get before. But Pez, do you like to eat Pez? Do you like that? Is it considered candy? I like a good Pez now and then. It was always great at Halloween time. If you got somebody to give you a Pez dispenser with Pez, it was awesome. I know some people had trouble loading them, but it wasn't that hard. You pull the thing all the way up till it clicks and it stays open. You just put your Pez in there. It was real easy. But Pez were a lot of fun. So let's dig into it and look at some Pez. Actually, it seems Pez is a longer name for something, that a German word for peppermint. Peppermint. Ooh, that'll burn your tongue. But here's the first actual dispenser right here. Again, late 1920s. Man, it just doesn't look as fun, does it? I guess you was roaring in the 20s. You're like, 23 skidoo, let's go get a Pez. 23 skidoo, let's go get a Pez. You know, you were doo-wopping or whatever they did. I guess that was more the 50s, the doo-wop era. But you know, the 20s, real crazy time. Remember that lady that got struck down by a trolley? I think that was in the 20s. And then she came back. Her name was Ethel. She died. A trolley car hit her in the 20s. And she came back and lived in the 80s with a suburban family. It was crazy, man. And here's one of the early Pez, and it's a gun. Yeah. A gun, and it looks like a gun. And you put the Pez in it, you put it in your mouth, you shoot the candy in your mouth. I'm surprised Pez didn't go out of business right then. Look at that. Pez, one thing you shoot them across the room, put somebody's eye out, or you shoot them in your mouth. It's just crazy they made a Pez gun, but they did. And then we've got this one right here, a Pez to take to school, help you do your homework. Well, if you're at school not doing homework, here's a Pez you take to school to do some, it's got like a calculator thing on it. It's more like, I don't know if it's really a calculator, but it calculates, I guess it is a calculator. But there it is, some educational Pez. I never thought I'd see that. And then we've got one of the first, well, I was going to say first of the 60s, but mid-60s. Just a boy, a generic boy. And there's one thing I didn't say, I'll say it now, is I got these pictures from Pez.com. They have a whole database over there. I didn't know that. You can go year by year and look at every Pez from the first Pez all the way to the coming soon. They got a coming soon section. So check that out, Pez.com. You didn't put a link in the description. It's Pez.com, man. Down, you can remember that. But there it is. There's a little boy. And look at this one right here. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Some kind of Mexican. I don't know what was in his mouth. Oh, they got me a taco stuck in my mouth. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Oh, they think Mexicans eat birds or something? I don't know what's going on here. And how about this? Porky the Pig. Remember he just stuck. I think it's Porky the Pig. Looks like Porky the Pig. Got a little blue hat. I think Porky the Pig had a little blue hat. But there he is. Porky the Pig. We've all porked a pig once in a while, haven't we? Let's be honest. We've all done it. And here's Santa Claus. Santa Claus getting in the act. Some kid probably was like, I want Santa Claus to put a Pez in my stocking. And he could right here. He put himself in a stocking. Pez Santa Claus. And what is this? Look like Frankenstein fell down the steps. Got some blood running down his head. I don't know what the deal with that is, but there it is. Look at that. That one in the middle looks like Joe Biden. I ain't trying to do political jokes or anything. It just kind of look like him. I ain't trying to say good or bad or anything. And I guess that's the creature from the Black Lagoon. Yeah, it looked like it came from the Green Lagoon. That was a good one. How about Batman? We're still in the 60s here. We're looking at Batman. I like this one's got a cape on it. That would have been cool. You would have been the cool kid if you had this Pez. You know, little kid's got a little boy, a little girl, and you got Batman. That would have been freaking awesome for sure. And then you got the Green Hornet getting into the act. A lot of different ones of the Green Hornet. They going crazy with that one. I don't know why they got so many of the Green Hornet. They all look alike. And then you got this one right here. Said girl Pez. I don't know what the deal with the hair is. I got bubbles on the side of his face. I don't know what's going on with this one. And look at this one. Said like ugly guy. It looked like a witch to me. It's an ugly guy. Well, this teacher I had in the ninth grade, Miss Pinecone, looks just like that. Maybe it's not. Maybe she wasn't that green, but she was close to it. Ugh. And then we got this monkey guy. Look at this guy. This guy looks like a monkey. I don't know. He's got one eye. Wish they made a one-eye Willie Pez. That would have been cool. And check out this guy right here. I don't know what this is. Looks kind of dangerous. Look like you might poke yourself with that one if you put it in your pocket. You sit down, you won't ever have children. That's not a very safe Pez. And look at this. You can make your own Pez. Make your own. Kind of like a Mr. Potato Head for Pez, but you can make your own Pez. They need to bring that back out. I'm surprised they hadn't brought that one back out. Maybe they did. I missed it, but that'd be kind of fun. Make your own Pez. I'm surprised they hadn't done that gimmick where you send a picture of them through the website and they make a Pez of you. I'm surprised they hadn't done that yet. Maybe they have. And look at this one. This was a badass one. Let's be honest. Yeah, you had the cool kid with the Batman one. You had the dorky kid with the little boy one. This is the punk kid. You know, the kid that just was on the other side of the tracks, they say. You know, the kind that would throw rocks at dogs. This is a cool one right here. A skull. That is awesome. And check out this one right here. That is... I thought it was a neighbor on Bewitched to start with, but no, it says it's... who's that lady with that damn umbrella? Mary Poppins. It says Mary Poppins. Don't look like Mary Poppins to me. That looks horrible. And then we've got Cowboy. Just a cowboy. You don't gotta give him no name. He's just a cowboy. Doesn't have a cow, but he is a boy, and he is a cowboy. I guess he's not a boy. He's a dude. And look at this one. A big old gorilla. I didn't say it earlier. We're in the 70s now, just to let you know, kind of going over. But there's a gorilla. Probably released around the time King Kong remake came out, but they didn't want to see King Kong, so they did that one. There's a Donkey Kong Jr. one they did in the 80s that I don't understand. No, it's the first Nintendo. We'll get to it. How about this one? First you're like, hey, what is that, Abraham Lincoln or a witch? I can't tell. Yep, it's a penguin. No, it's not a damn penguin. Pilgrim. It's a pilgrim. Who the hell wants a damn pilgrim Pez dispenser? This was late 70s, right around 1978. Back when we were doing the bicentennial and we were looking at the history of America. So you can kind of understand why they did that. And this one right here, too. At first I thought it was a nurse, but it said it was a patient. A wounded patient. That's what it said. I didn't understand. Look at that nurse in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or something. I don't know about this one. And there we go. Like I said, bicentennial. He had to do Uncle Sam. God bless America. You had to do that back in 1978. Everybody was hung up on Uncle Sam. And then you got this one right here. This is Betsy Ross. When the world was falling apart, Betsy Ross got it all sewed up. And then there's Maud. And then there's Maud. Why didn't they make a Maud's Pez? Oh, Larry, play that theme song for me. That. And there's Maud. And check out this right here. Daniel Boone. Daniel Boone is a Pez. What's on his head? I guess it would be that raccoon hat. Look like a German shepherd shit on his head. And... guess it's Creature of the Black Lagoon. This one's really from the Black Lagoon. This is a black creature from the Tar Lagoon. I don't understand that one. How about this? A chicken. Alright, just a chicken Pez. You know, they come out with new Pez every year. They had to come like 5 or something every year. So I guess, you know, like, oh, we done a boy, we done a girl. What we gonna do? Let's do a chicken. We haven't done a chicken. Astronaut. That's cool right there. That's pretty cool. An astronaut. Spider-Man. This is, I think, 1978. They were starting to get into Marvel. Marvel gets a license to Pez, and that's cool. You're a kid. You're like, I think this is one of the early Pez I remember having is a Spider-Man Pez. It's odd because I know I had a lot of Pez growing up. I can't remember what none of them were. I do remember this one and another one, a couple other ones, but I don't have a fond memory of buying Pez's, eating Pez's. Just seems like I forgot what the characters were. Check out this one right here, the Incredible Hulk with a Pete Rose haircut. There he is. I like that they got the face and the base green. Sometimes they don't match, and they matched it on this one. Did they match it on Spider-Man? They matched it on Spider-Man. And then we got Thor. Yeah, even Thor. Man, that's out. It's really hard to put in your pocket all. Too much. You got the wings and everything back there. It reminds me, he's got wings right here. Yeah. I went to school with a boy named Jimbo Showers. He had hair that was like wings, and girls loved him. Girls, like Tanya broke up with me because she wanted to go out with Jimbo Showers. He got a little pink comb. Let's move on right here to Captain America. He's got a little side wings right there, not as big and fancy with it, but there he is, Captain America. And look at this, a Pez mascot right there, a Pez clown. You scared of clowns? Well, you wouldn't be scared of a Pez clown if you saw this walking down the street. Now, would you? Wouldn't be scared of that. Now I think we're getting into the 80s. No, this was not 80s yet, almost. A truck Pez. I kind of remember these. These are cool. Truck Pez. Look at this. Batgirl. We're getting into some DC comics now. Batgirl Pez. Batgirl. And the Joker. It's kind of weird looking. I don't know what the deal with this one is. It's kind of strange. It's got too much neck or something on it. I could have done a lot better. Pez, you let me down. Then, starting in the 80s, we got Tom. Don't worry. We got Jerry also. Tom and I would have loved to have these as a kid. They made a Woody Woodpecker. That would have been awesome. I didn't see it on the database. What's up, Pez? But, man, Tom and Jerry, I love that cartoon back in right in the early 80s, man. I would have loved to have these two. Probably would have picked Jerry over Tom. Nowadays, I pick Tom over Jerry, but back then, I was more of a Jerry guy. And check out this one right here. Is that the one that says Access Stage Left? I didn't look at the name. I should look at the name of that one. I don't know if it's a cartoon or just a cat or something. And here's a pumpkin for Halloween. I want to have pumpkin flavor. That's the worst thing about Halloween, pumpkin flavor crap. Nobody likes pumpkin flavor. I like pumpkin flavor, Junkman. I go down to Dunkin' Donuts and get me a pumpkin flavor latte. No, you don't. If people like pumpkin flavor stuff, they have it all year. You don't just sell something once a month, out 1 month out of the year because people like it. You just think you like it because everybody's got pumpkin in it. Fucking pumpkin. I just know a black girl named Pumpkin. Whatever happened to her? She was always in detention. No matter what day I got detention. Pumpkin was in there. You could guarantee Pumpkin was going to be in detention. He's like, oh, shit. Guess I got to walk home from school. Going to miss the bus. It's going to take me an hour to walk home. Got detention. And you walk in there and you see Pumpkin sitting in there. It's like, Pumpkin, what'd you do this time, Pumpkin? Pumpkin. I bet she's like 50 years old, still sitting in detention somewhere. Anyway, we're moving on to a snowman. No. I wish it was that snowman. I wish it was Jerry Reed. If they made a Jerry Reed Pez, I'd go get a loan to buy it. I don't care how much it's worth. But there it is, a snowman Pez. And look at... I hate Annie. So ugly. God, I don't even want to talk about it. And then they brought the gun back out in the 80s. I guess they were trying to capture them Star Wars fans and they couldn't get the Star Wars license. So they said, hey, let's give us a space gun. A treat to eat and a toy that's neat. Oh, they got a little rhyme there. How about that? And then we've got, this is when I was teased up. Donkey Kong Jr. First Nintendo character became a Pez. Why wasn't Donkey Kong? I guess the game Donkey Kong Jr. was out at the time. But this is a monkey, a gorilla, whatever you call it. They did before. They just put a J on his hat. But it doesn't look anything like Donkey Kong Jr. Come on, what's going on with this? How about a Smurf? I probably had this one. I don't remember, but I probably did. A dang Smurf. And it's not, we're going to see more Smurfs too. And how about this? Limited edition Stand By Me Pez. I don't know who the kid's supposed to be. Look, I got a better picture of it. I don't know if it's supposed to be one of the characters. I don't know if there's Will Wheaton or not. I don't know. It looks more. Maybe it's supposed to be the guy that says he like to eat Pez. What's his name? Jerry O'Connor. It looks more like him. Maybe that's, I couldn't find it. I don't think they ever said a name who it's supposed to be, but I'm going to go with that one. I don't like his hair. It looks kind of like a wig. And then you got more, but told you it'd be more. Told you it'd be more. You got Smurfette and Papa Smurf. Do you remember the origin of Smurfette? I could do a whole video on that. It's crazy. I didn't know. I was just reading it one day. I don't know why I was sitting around reading Wikipedia about Smurfette, but I was. And it's... Smurfs is a much darker cartoon than I thought. And how about this? Charlie Brown. He's a clown. Charlie Brown, 3 of them right there. All got a different mouth on it. I never got into peanut stuff. Snoopy's okay, I guess. Just never, I never really cared about the Thanksgiving Day special or the Christmas special or Halloween. Halloween one was, if I was going to watch one, it's Halloween one. How about this? They went back to old school right here in the 80s and gave us this. This was Hungry. Hungry was not hungry. I was like, oh, I'm hungry. I want a pet. No, same thing as a country. Hungry opened a new factory, and they did this for a limited time down in wherever Hungary is. I don't know where it is, south of the border somewhere. But they released these, and then you got the Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones. I think we're in the 90s. I didn't say that when we got into it, but this is the 90s right here. Must have been the right time the movie came out, and they, everybody was having Flintstone fever. But there you go. I didn't see no Wilma. Oh no, Betty. I don't know what. I would have got Mr. Slate. I think Mr. Slate would have been a damn good Pez dispenser. I wouldn't even done the others. I would have just done a Mr. Slate. He's probably the most popular of the Flintstones. And then we got the Ninja Turtles. I don't have to tell you the 90s. You know that. There you go. Right there, Ninja Turtle. I think one of them was named Lau. I don't remember the rest of them. One was named Donatello, I think. And Lau. Lau's the one I always remember. And Batman. You think this is 1989? Junkman, you went back to these. This is right 1980. 1995, right around 1995. But it's Batman, Black, Dark Knight Batman. You can see they was going for that movie at the time. Batman Returns. I don't know. I guess Val Kilmer came next. Was it George Clooney? I think it was Val Kilmer. Who cares? After Michael Keaton left, nobody gave it wasn't no good. Oh, Speedy Gonzalez. Oh, I'm gonna run down to Mexico and get a piece. I hope they make a taco flavor. I need to stop doing that, but it's so fun. Darth Vader, 1997, we finally got Star Wars Pez. I wish they had them when I was a kid. There was a few of them came out. I'm not going to look at all of them right now, but there's Darth Vader Pez. Let's go to 1998 here with the first real Nintendo ones. I know they did the Donkey Kong Jr. I count this as the first Nintendo one, but you got Mario. You got that thing look like a little penis right there. You got Yoshi, and you got the real Donkey Kong Jr. right there. I don't think I got a picture of it, but also in 1998, they did Boba Fett. Make you want to buy some stock in the Pez company when you found out. What? It's like it goes together like peanut butter and chocolate. Like ravioli and mustard. It just goes together. And look at this. Clear Pez. Man, they're getting really spooky in the 90s right here. And this is really starting to take off because this was like 98, 99. They had 2 pages to look through. Every one of the ones just had like 5 to come out that year. So Pez was going crazy. I don't know. A lot of craze for Pez in the late 90s. And then we're going to end the 90s with Wolverine. Whoa. Schnickety snatch, schnickety snatch. Wolverine as a Pez. That would have been kind of cool. That would have been kind of cool to have, if you ask me. Now, I said we were going to stop, and then I saw the one in 2000, and I said, this is a show where Pez kind of just like, let's just make whatever we can get. Whoever's going to pay us to make it, let's do it. Get a damn eBay Pez. As a heart. Pez, you let me down, Pez. Come on now. But, I don't know, I mean... I guess they've done worse things. I guess they've done worse, Pez. I guess they've done worse. Anyway, let's look. Okay, that wasn't real Pez. You know that wasn't real. Pez wasn't that damn bad. Pez wasn't Pez. No, Pez is a family-owned company. They didn't do that. But I remember seeing that. Hitler. I saw that in Toy Shop back in the 90s, that little magazine you would order stuff, and everybody had custom ones. I thought they were real. There was even a controversy in the year 2000. I think it was like at a Pez convention or something, on top of my head convention or something, where there was people selling it, and Pez company didn't like it. They was like, no, we don't want any part of that. But it's a lot of custom was made. I was always, every time I got Toy Shop magazine, you could order one. I did think about it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought about it. It'd be kind of funny to have. I ain't lying to you. I don't want to buy it down. I ain't gonna buy it, to praise it or anything. It'd be kind of funny to have. Buy it as a joke, not buy it because I like it. The hell's wrong with you? Anyway, that's a look at a lot of Pez's, man. Check out the Pez website. I could have done a whole video just looking at the website. There was a few pages missing, 1985 and one other one. Is that page not found? What's up with that, Pez? Anyway, thanks for watching. Be back with another video tomorrow.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.